Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Wright, and this is Sports Done Right for the month of April 2024. Remember the name Wilma Rudolph? Think back 64 years when she burst out on the national stage by winning gold medals in sprinting at the Rome Olympics. It was a highly unlikely moment as she had to overcome a bout with polio in her childhood and other afflictions which made it difficult for her to even walk. She once said, "Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit." She embodied that credo and became an inspiration for millions of people to realize their dreams. This month, we'll go in depth with some residents of some city who have pursued dreams and achieved great success in the sports about which they are passionate. First, we spoke to Donna Lerner and Kathy Bounds, who shared their past and current activities which keep them motivated. Well, Kathy Bounds and Donna Lerner, we're going to talk today a little bit about your adventures in golf. But first, I want to find a little bit about you guys personally, and we'll start with you, Donna. Where were you raised?
Oh, wow. Let's see. I was raised on Long Island, but spent my winters on Hilton Head Island so that I would have access to play golf year-round.
Oh, really? So you were showing some early promise.
Yes, we'll stay with that.
Okay, well, that's very modest of you. And how about you, Kathy? Where were you raised?
I was raised in North Carolina in a little town called Rayford, which is right outside of Fort Bragg. A lot of people know about where that is. But I was born and raised in North Carolina all my life.
And so how did you start off playing golf? Who was your inspiration?
My dad. My mom and dad are very athletic. They played baseball and basketball all in their high school years. And then my dad took up golf, and so he was in the banking industry. So at that time, banks were closed on Wednesday afternoons and Saturday afternoons. So on Wednesday afternoon, he'd grab me from school, and I'd go caddy for him. So as he would go to putt, I would run up to the next tee, and then I would hit. So I kept bruises on the side here because the golf clubs were too long. So that's how I started at 8 years old.
Now, did you have brothers and sisters to compete with?
I do. I have two younger sisters, and yes, we competed. We have a very competitive family. So, but they were more into the tennis and those type of sports. But now they have taken up golf, so the entire family plays.
Oh, excellent. And Donna, I understand you were an only child, spoiled to death, and so on and so forth.
Yes, sir, that's true.
Well, tell us about your inspirations when you were growing up.
Well, the golf inspirations came directly from my dad. I would sit on Sunday afternoons and watch him watch golf. I wouldn't even watch the golf. I would watch him watch golf.
Okay.
And his passion was so deep that I wanted that. I wanted to feel that. He would get so excited. And so the game just became a part of me as a result because I wanted to be like Mike.
Okay, I got it. But then, almost near tragedy or kind of a tragedy struck. You also were...
I was an equestrian, and at age 14, I had a terrible accident and broke my back in 3 places. And it ended my equestrian career because one more fall and I could very well have been crippled.
Right.
Yeah. So I then turned my energy more towards the little white ball.
Okay. And when did you actually get into really competitive golf?
I was 7.
Really?
Yes. I played my first state championship at 7 amongst the big kids, It was fun.
I'll bet. And how about you? When did you start competing?
Well, I started playing when I was going with my dad, like I said, when I was 8. But I really didn't get my first golf club until about 10. And I started competing when I was 12.
And you guys worked together in North Carolina for some 23 years. How did you meet? And I hope it's the same story. And how did you get together for this business venture?
Well, we met at the 1996 U.S. Women's Open at Pine Needles. Kathy was running a hole, and she was being a cowboy, a renegade, and I actually was standing there watching her, and I was fascinated by how she was breaking all the USGA rules and letting all the children sit on the back of the tee box and watch the players. And I thought, she's a cowboy. I like her. I think she's going to be fun. And I knew of Kathy because she won the World Amateur Championship in the gross division in 1985.
Okay.
And so I already knew of her. She was a top 10 player in the tri-state area for many, many years. So we just became friendly from that perspective, and we just built a friendship.
Does that coincide with your recollection? Cowboy?
She's absolutely correct. Yes. I had worked for quite a few years with USGA in coordinating a lot of the major tournaments and stuff. So I met Donna through that, and I had a passion for the kids because the little kids would come up, and of course the adults were shading them out. So I made them all come up. Of course, USGA didn't like that, but it was a ladies' event. And I said, just get over it, because you have to invest in the youth. And if we don't do that, then the golf particularly, I think, will die. So she's absolutely correct.
And what was the nature of the academy that you guys ran up there in North Carolina?
Well, the nature of the academy was, our slogan was to change lives one swing at a time. And we wanted to make sure that we just didn't teach them how to swing. We taught them the game of golf. And there's more than just hitting that white ball. So we tried to encompass and encapsulate other people within our academy, whether we were bringing in the fitness portion or the mental portion or the fitness, like I said, but the swing and also the rules. We wanted to encompass all that. So that's what we wanted our academy to be, and that set it apart from a lot of the other teaching professionals in the area.
Okay. And Donna, what does it take to be certified as a teaching professional?
People don't understand that, quite honestly. They think you decide you're a good player, you're going to teach. As a rule, good players don't really know how to teach. So it's a 3 to 5 year program. There's a lot of expense involved in the training.
Is it a full-time program?
It is a full-time program. And you're going to learn not only the aspects of the golf swing itself, but motor function, biomechanics, neuro-linguistic programming, how to identify whether someone is left or right-brained, whether they learn fast, whether they learn slow. Using the right verbiage really does it expedites the process in a positive way. We had to learn about equipment and how to make it compatible to the person swinging it. And there's a lot of information out there that's generic. Golf Digest keeps a golf professional in business because they put out these wonderful tips that are completely generic and don't work for anyone. So everyone tries them, and then they need a golf lesson to fix their golf swing. So,
okay, and then a few years ago, after 23 years, you decided to retire and move down here. And what do you do these days?
Well, we play golf a couple days a week. We play bocce. Kathy is very active in softball. We're about to begin to play pickleball. We have a tremendous social network. We live on a wonderful block, and everybody's very, very fun, and we stay pretty busy. We do, and the beach is just always a phone call away.
Well, that's a fact. And in terms of staying involved with golf programs, Kathy, what are you doing?
Well, we actually have joined the WGA here, and we are trying to play with a lot of different folks. This is going to be a better question for Donna because she's become very active in the golf program here at Sun City. But for me, like I said earlier, I'm here to play. My teaching is done. I'm here to play.
Yes, but you also are involved in some tournaments for youngsters, and I'd like to hear about that.
Yes, we got involved with U.S. Kids a little over about 20 years ago. And as a result of that, we are now international directors for them in running their tournaments. And those tournaments are for kids for age 5 to 18, mostly concentrating on age 5 to 14. And so we go up and down the eastern seaboard, across the country, across the pond, whatever, U.S. Kids, wherever they need us to be. And we do that about every 5 to 6 weeks. And because of that, the kids that came through our academy, we get to watch them grow because they're coming through. So, but tournaments can be anywhere from 300 kids to 3,000. The World Championship is at Pinehurst, and we encompass 8 to 10 golf courses, and we'll have about 3,000 kids that'll come through in a span of about 2 weeks.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. And I understand you're trying to bring a tournament to this area, and you'll need some help with that, right?
We will need some help. I just want to add something that Kathy said.
Sure.
That the World Championship is about 3,000 players between the 2 weeks, but it also represents approximately 49 states and 51 countries. So it's a pretty dynamic experience for young people to see people from other places that love the game like they do. Yes, we do plan to, we're hoping to bring a girls' invitational here. We're shooting for 2024, but it might be early 2025. And that would be 100 to 135 girls. It would be a 2-day event over a weekend. And we would love to have lots of volunteers, smiley faces to greet them, meet them, and excite them.
Okay, well, we will flash your emails up on the screen, and they can get in touch with you. And when it's time, become volunteers.
A wonderful volunteer. We do everything from starter roles. Every tournament is run just like a professional tournament. So the kids get a real feel whether this is the furthest they go or just a taste for the future.
Well, that's terrific. And I really appreciate you two coming and talking to me and getting to know you a little better and what your background is, what you do, what you did. And we'll be looking for you in the future.
Awesome. I can't wait to see you on the golf course.
You can wait.
Keep swinging. You never know when you're going to hit it.
The swim club here at Sun City runs highly successful programs for those residents who wish to learn how to swim and those who want to scrape the rust off back in the pool. The club also has members who compete up and down the East Coast, and we spoke to Nancy Forrester, the new president of the club, about these activities. Well, Nancy, thanks for your time today. We're here at Argent Lakes, and you're going to talk to you about the swim club here at Sun City. And tell me, how long have you been involved with the club?
I've only been involved a little over 2 years, January of 22.
Okay, and already in a leadership position. You're the new president, correct?
That's right, yes. Yeah.
What possessed you?
Well, once upon a time when I was a runner and I would be injured, I'd swim to rehab from a running injury, and I got bored counting laps, so I got this iWatch to count my laps, which was great. But then I said, well, I wonder how fast I am. And I looked online and I said, oh my God, I'm really slow. I've got to go to that swim club and get some tips to speed up.
Well, great. Let's talk a little bit about generally the club and how large has it grown to?
We are at about 80 members now with 5 family memberships and the rest individual.
And there's a lot of focus on the adult swim programs that you guys do a great job at.
Annually, we present a variety of programs from year to year. This year, coming up April 15th to 19th, it's going to be Adult Swim Lesson Week, where we're going to focus on freestyle and either take people further from where they already are doing freestyle or help them get doing a decent freestyle.
Oh, that's great. I know some people have gone through the program who are very, very high on it now. You also are a competitive swimmer, and tell us about that.
Well, after my second time at being in the swim club in 22, Deb Walsh said, how would you like to compete in a swim meet in April? And I looked at her and I said, what are you talking about? I'm a runner. Well, I did compete in that Savannah meet that is every mid-April. It's coming up April 13th this year, and enjoyed it. I was nervous, and it took me a while to get used to the rhythm of a swim meet, which lasts anywhere from a day, as in Savannah, to 3 days, as in North Myrtle Beach that we just had last weekend.
I understand you had your team, the swimmers from Sun City, had some pretty good success.
We did. We had 6 people, so not everyone competes by far from and there are fewer competitors these days than in previous periods of the swim club, but we're always eager to invite and encourage people to compete. So we had 6 swimmers. We had 2 high points, Cynthia Smith and Ginny Taylor. We had 3rd as a team in state, so we have a little trophy. And everyone did well in their individual events, and it was really a time of camaraderie.
And how many events would you do a year? I mean, you mentioned Savannah, North Myrtle Beach.
Well, February, North Myrtle Beach; April, Savannah; June, Greenville; October, Orlando; early December, North Charleston, plus another one or so if one has a desire. So generally 5 that we compete in.
Okay, that's great. And then, all the while, though, you're in here working with these swimmers and getting them to be better. And then you are, in fact, training yourself as well.
That's right. And in early December, I, with another one of our coaches, went to Miami and got certified as level 2 coaches. So we're learning how to swim better, teaching others how to swim better, and just getting deeper and deeper into the water. No pun intended.
Well, that's fantastic. And I'm always pleased to talk to the swim club because you have a solid program. You've had great success competitively. And thanks so much for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Doug. Thanks.
We also spoke to Chris Scott, a mainstay of the Sun City Tennis Association, as he walked us through the project he initiated at our sports venues. Well, Chris, you're very active in the Sun City Tennis Association, being a past president and avid player, but you've also been involved with a great project about which we've spoken before, but bring us up to date on where that project is.
Well, Doug, my wife and I and son, we handle all the recycling efforts for all of our sports centers here at Sun City, including the pools, softball field, bocce, pickleball, and tennis, removing all the aluminum, tennis balls, tennis cans, drink bottles, wine bottles, everything we handle, and we take it home and disperse it into proper containers to make sure that it actually gets recycled.
And how long have you been doing this, and what inspired you initially to do it?
Well, this is our 3rd year here at our tennis facility, and during this period we've recycled 76,000 tennis balls, 21,000 tennis cans. And what inspired me, it's our moral responsibility not only to our current population, but for future populations, to get a control on plastics because of the environmental impact of what plastics do to our soil and our groundwater.
And what do you do this 1 day a week?
It's a 7-day-a-week thing, just like the post office. 7 days a week, we're at all these facilities sorting out the recyclable materials.
Well, yeah, I went to the softball opening day, and there was this guy rummaging through the trash, and it turned out to be you, and so we had a nice chat. And you say 76,000 tennis balls, and that's a heck of a lot. And you've also recycled the cans and other stuff.
Yes, plastic bottles alone are over 250,000. So it's a total process, from start to finish. Anything that we think we can recycle, we do.
Okay. And your wife's involved, and how does all this get funded?
personally, we just take care of it. We're both committed. My family has always been involved in recycling, and we feel that it's just something that everyone should do. And if it takes personal funding to do it, we're more than willing to do it. The impact is just far too important.
And have you been able to educate our various athletes adequately, do you think, to take advantage of this?
Yes, I believe so. Both tennis and pickleball have been outstanding. We have a ways to go with the softball people that come and view, the spectators, but we're getting there. We're going to add a few new recycling containers, and I think once we do that, I believe that softball will become our #1 producer.
Well, Chris, we are now at your house, which will you've got completely set up for the second phase of the operation after collection. So show us what you're doing.
Okay, fine. We start out, this is the bag that stuff comes back from all our sports facilities. First step is to empty this bag. And this is just a sampling, of course. And then this is set up on this table. Then Chris walks around to this side, and the process begins. Aluminum cans go in one container, tennis lids here, tennis balls in another container, pickleballs, another container, tennis lids, a container, more tennis lids, more tennis lids, more tennis balls, plastic water bottles. The lids are removed and placed in another container. Then the weekly recycling gets that. Tennis cans, they will go to another phase in the operation.
Okay, Chris, now that we've sorted a little bit, what happens now?
Okay, now the next thing is to remove the labels from these plastic Pet 1 tennis cans, and the aluminum rim has to be removed also. If it goes in the recycled container as it is, it will end up in the landfill because of the aluminum. So step 1, box cutter, remove this, and then cut the aluminum rim off like that. And it's just a repetitive motion. Now we collect these and we count these, and so far we've done over 23,000 of these. They will go to the recycling center in Hardyville, and that money that we receive, 45 cents a pound, will be donated to the No Kill Animal Center. And we normally have so much that we have to take certain types of bottles and insert them into the plastic because we run out of space. Sent to recycleballs.org in New England, and so far we're at 76,000 tennis balls that we've recycled. Some tennis cans I can't cut with a box cutter, so there's an extra step, and it's painful. A snap, then this torch is lit, I heat it, and then I pull the rim off. But we take those balls and we put them in these little containers, 60 balls in a container, and we repressurize them for 3 days, and every week I replace the balls in our ball machine at the Southside Tennis Center with fresh balls, so our members really end up with a good product to practice with. Doug, we have one final process. We take so much aluminum from all the sports facilities, and if we just left them in this condition, we would have bags and bags and bags and fill this place up totally. So we bought a little hydraulic compressor here that crushes the can, it goes down in, and this is just a very repetitive thing.
The softball club had 3 opening day celebrations at the end of February, where players, managers, and spectators were all anxious to shed their winter doldrums and get back into the action. We caught some of the events and also spoke to Holly Meckley, president of the club, about plans for 2024. Well, Holly, it's another opening day. Tell us all about what's been happening this weekend. You've had 3.
Well, we've had opening day for Saturday League, opening day for Ladies League, and now we have Tuesday, Thursday opening day. So we're excited to get started. It's good to be back on the ball field.
Well, heck yeah. And how many actual players do you have and how many club members?
Wow. Okay. So we have
estimates.
estimates. We have 9 Tuesday, Thursday teams. We have 10 Saturday West teams, 4 Saturday East teams, and then we have 4 ladies teams. And then we have 547 club members now. So we're growing.
Yeah, that's terrific. And so what's happening today in terms of the opening ceremony?
So we'll have the players line up in the field. We'll introduce the coaches and the managers and thank everyone that's involved with getting everything ready for today. We'll thank the sponsors, and then we'll have national anthem, and we'll have the first pitch and play ball.
Well, that sounds like pretty efficient. You don't have a long speech?
No long speech. Everyone's just anxious to get out in the field and start playing ball. And we have hot dog day today. So Weichert is providing the first 700 hot dogs for free. It's a great day, and we get a lot of people come out and just enjoy the hot dogs and enjoy the softball game.
Okay, well, that's exciting. And what else is exciting coming up here in 2024?
Well, we're hoping to add a concession stand to the field. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, and we're just excited to be getting going with the season and just ready to go.
Okay, and you'll be busy playing, umping, and running the show.
All of that, all the above.
Well, we thank you for your time as always, and I know you're about ready to do the ceremony, so we'll talk to you throughout the season, Holly, and see how things are going.
Thank you very much.
And now, one final word. Wilma Rudolph overcame monumental obstacles to achieve her dream of being an Olympics champion. Have you underestimated the power of your dreams? And that's our show for April 2024. Take Wilma's mantra and literally run with it. I'm Doug Wright, and I'll see y'all next month on Sports Done Right.
Sun City TV is keeping Doug as busy as possible. It keeps him out of trouble. And he and SCTV could use your help. We need those action shots and Kodak moments that happen every day here in Sun City. Since Doug can't be everywhere, think about when you're out on the courses, the courts, or the field, putting that phone to good use and snapping those shots of your favorite athletes. To get a TV-worthy shot, here's a quick TV camera lesson. Most importantly, hold your camera for a landscape, not portrait orientation. A good comparison to help you remember, think hamburger, not hot dog. Got it? To click it up a notch, here's some other hints. For a video, lock those elbows or stabilize against a solid surface. That way no viewers get motion sick. Pan slowly, that motion sickness thing. Shoot with your back to the sun and bright light. Check your background, frame your subject, and zoom with your feet, which means get closer. Then get those visuals ready to send to SCTV. Format those pictures and videos as MP4, MOV, JPG, JPEG, and HEIC. Send your photos and videos with a brief description of the event details and identify persons when possible. Email them to suncitytvhh@gmail.com and watch for your first TV photo credit.